Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday, the 28th of February 2024. We start off with this. This? What's this? This is the Daily Mill, not the Daily Chelsea or the Daily Leeds. Well, this game had consequences for future Mill game against Leeds. Because our game against Leeds on the 17th of March, on that weekend, was scheduled to be, or is scheduled to be, the FA Cup quarter-finals. So if Leeds had won this game, that would have meant that our game against them up at Helen Road would have been postponed due to FA Cup commitments. And it didn't look good because they took the lead in 8 minutes. And then Chelsea equalised soon after. They went in at half-time 2-1. And then Leeds got it to 2-2, and then right at the end, although this would have went to extra time and then penalties if needed, the tie needed to be decided on the night. Luckily for us, I guess, Gallagher stepped up and scored in the 90th minute, sending Chelsea through and Leeds out. So what that now means is, you can see it here, the game had already been selected by Sky, and it's at 3 o'clock, which is a weird time for a championship game, but remember, Sky don't have the FA Cup. So this is counter-programming to whatever games are put on the FA Cup channels on ITV and BBC. It was a bit weird because that Chelsea Leeds game was on ITV4, and at the same time, BBC One was showing Nottingham Forest versus Man United. So kind of weird that they're doing two games of two different channels at the same time. Surely that would cannibalise your audience. Your neutral wants to watch a free football game, but hey ho, there you go. So that now means that game against Leeds United now goes ahead. It's only coming up to like 3 weeks away. So I'm pretty sure that now we know it will be going ahead, that tickets will start to go on sale. Plans will be made. Well, I'm sure we're not going to get many tickets because, as mentioned, the game has been moved to Sunday and it's on Sky. So they will say, well, if you want to watch the game, you can watch it on the television. You don't have to come to Ellen Road. We don't want you here. And that's how it's going to be. And just to confirm, here you go. So this is from livefootballontv.com. This is at Leeds United versus Millwall. It's on Sky Sports Football on Sunday the 17th of March 2024. 3 o'clock kickoff. Now, as you can see, so these are all the championship games that are on Sky at the moment. They've only gone up to that date. They will be selecting more now. If we don't win, and don't speed away from the relegation places, if we're still there or thereabouts, you may very well find that some of our games will be selected for Sky. Now, at the moment, as you can see, that Millwall Leeds game was the last and latest of the games to be selected by Sky. When they select more, obviously if it's a Millwall game, Millwall will let us know. I'll let you know in the videos. But even if they don't, because we're getting to the end of the season, people want to book tickets. If you're planning a trip from abroad, the game might be moved, like travel, train tickets, just buying tickets when you need to buy them, etc. So now we're getting to the end, and we might be featured because we are actually may very well still be in the relegation battle. When they announce the games on TV, even if it's not a Millwall game, I'll let you know, because then we can confirm. So what's the week after that? The 20. So that would be 16. Well, the week after that, the 23rd, is actually international break. So it would be the week after that, or the 30th. So when they select a game for the 30th, if it's not a Millwall game, I'll let you know. So keep coming back to the channel. I will let you know the Sky selections, even if they're not Millwall games. So then we can confirm. Okay, they haven't selected Millwall's game this weekend. That means this game is set to be at this time and this date. Okay. Now moving on to this from the southwarknews.co.uk. Harris admits back four remains favoured Millwall choice, but is prepared to adapt. Neil Harris says he is willing to be flexible when he needs to be with Mill's defensive formation, even though his preference remains to play a back four. The returning boss went for that option. He's starting 11 in Saturday's 2-1 win at Southampton, with the Lions previously having previously used two wing-backs during Joe Edder's brief spell in charge, and Gary Rowett as well. Harris makes no secret of the fact that he prefers a more traditional back four approach, but pointed out he's more willing to shake things up when the need arises. "Oh, I would imagine so," replied Harris when asked by News at Den whether four defenders was something Millwall fans can expect to see more of between now and the end of the season. "I've changed my 5-year absence and I've played different systems at different times. I've been absolutely happy to accept any given game. If on Saturday when we play Watford and I feel like the best system to win a game of football is to play a back five, then that's what I will do. I'm absolutely happy to change in the game from a 4 to a 5 or from a 5 to a 4. I've got no issue with that nowadays, and people will see that over a period of time. As managers and coaches, you don't always get it right, but you make your best guess. Ultimately, though, my thought process as a manager and head coach over the last 9 to 10 years hasn't overly changed. I do like a back four, especially at this football club. The fans like to see a lot of simplicity at times, and I understand sometimes that playing in the back four is easier on the eye." And that was it. So there you go. And that is the only real interview kind of hard Millwall news today, really. We did have this that popped up. Behind the whistle. So apparently there's some kind of like TV show on Sky now where they get the referees on, or a former referee to explain, go through stuff. And this was from Wednesday morning. I don't watch this. I don't watch this actually. So, but they mentioned our game. So, following the conclusion of a match day, Foy will be here to run you through some refereeing matters in the EFL. I think, is it just the EFL? Because obviously they have VAR in the Premier League, so I guess they're just covering the EFL. So they're talking about the penalty that we got given. So it says potential penalty handball, a penalty awarded, and Foy says, "Well, as the Millwall number 21 turns and takes a shot towards goal, Southampton number 35 makes an attempt to block the ball, which results in the ball striking his arm, and the referee points to the spot. The replays show that the left arm is clearly moved and raised, making the defender's body bigger, and with his arm in an unnatural position, there's no hesitation to award the penalty. The referee is in a very good position to see the incident and makes the correct decision to award Millwall a penalty." So there you go. That was on the show apparently. So, although was there any doubt? I guess maybe their manager was moaning about it. I don't know. Seems a bit of a prick, doesn't he? But I didn't hear him complain about that. Right, we're going to finish with this, short and sweet. So I told you before about a player from Margate who was on trial at Millwall. He's come back for another week. And the other day I mentioned that it was kind of worrying that we were being linked to players from Margate and Dartford. But I think it was being a bit harsh, because these are very young players, and the idea of them coming to Millwall is not for the first team straight away. Well, obviously, ideally that is the end goal, but it's to come in for the under 18s and for the under 21s. So it's not as a result of Neil Harris being there and trying to get these players into the first team. So this is from Kent Online via MSN. Mill will take a second look at Margate's young forward Vinnie Bowman, a teenage academy player who's featured regularly for the Isthmian Premier League side this season. Yeah, he's 16 years old and he's playing for their first team in the actual Isthmian League. Margate's academy striker Vinnie Bowman is back for another week on trial at Champions side. Mill had Margate's exciting 16-year-old prospect Bowman over for training last week, and the Erne Bay High School pupil has been back again after they wanted to have another look. Margate boss Mark Stimpson sees plenty of potential in the player who's already made 13 appearances for the Isthmian League side this season. 13 appearances. 16 years old, he's playing the men's game. Bowman scored his first league goal for Margate last month, having already netted in a Velocity Cup third round match. He scored 9 goals in 14 academy games for Margate this season. And Stimpson said, he went out last week and he did well and he was going to play in a game on Saturday, but that got called off. He's back in this week and will probably play for them this Saturday, so we'll see how he gets on. Normally you don't get invited back if you haven't shown something. The kid is very young, a lot of growing to do in his body, but he's a decent size now and he knows where the goal is, and I'm not surprised the pro clubs are looking at him. He is someone who is in training, looks like he can cope with it. He's had a couple of run-outs for us and a couple of goals. He's in a good place at the moment, and we'll have to wait and see at the end of the week what happens to him. He's got a good touch and awareness in front of goal for a young lad. He looks very composed, which is good for a young player. So yeah, what they're talking about there, that was the under-18s game. It was at home at the training ground versus Charlton, and the game got called off. So I don't know. That's kind of weird because is there only one pitch at the training ground, or is there the under-18s pitch, and that got waterlogged, and then they wouldn't let them use the other pitch? It's all very weird. I don't know why they did that, because they have a number of pitches, and you would think, well, if the under-18 pitch is waterlogged, they would just move it to one of the other pitches. Don't know, but where are we at? So with Bowman missing at the weekend, Margate added midfielder Michael Dome Benwin to their ranks. He's played across Europe and America, while more locally he's featured for Ashford United. Margate are just above the Isthmian Premier Division drop zone and lost 1-0 to Harringay Borough on Saturday. So there you go. Now here's the thing. If they're at the bottom of the league, maybe it's a case of they're desperate, and that's why they're playing this kid. It might not be that he's super duper. It might be he's competent enough to handle it, and they're desperate enough to play him, so they play him. So got to remember that. But there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.